Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm so tired. I just finished my woofer certification class, which was 9 hours. I have the gloves to prove it. And I just got off, so I'm really tired, but I wanted to film this video just for, you know, shits and giggles because it's funny. I just got back from a 3-week Sierra Nevada trip, and I've taken previous adventure education classes at this college that has taught me a lot about LNT. This is so cringy. But basically, I want to share with you how to poop properly in the woods using the LNT. I mean, I guess LNT is the category, and you can check out the link below, which is a list of all the other LNTs. But basically, how to poop in the woods. So, how to poop just in the wilderness in general, right? That's probably what you want to know. There's a ton of different terrain that you're camping in, right? So depending on where you are, could be really dense, moist soil, or it could be a rocky, pebbly shore situation, or sandy with some, you know, pine or tree mixture. You know what I mean? Like, there's different types of soils, so depending on the soil you're in, it could be all rock. And I bet a lot of you guys have, you know, pooped in the woods and just put the rock on top, but that's not LNT. So, and LNT is leave no trace, by the way, just in case you didn't know. So I would say, okay, you're going in the woods, you're camping, let's say it's pebbly shore. It's gonna be harder to, you know, dig a hole just because there's like a lot of pebbles and rocks. So you could get a shovel, and that could be helpful. If you don't have a shovel, use sticks. If you don't have a stick, use a rock. If you don't have a rock, use any sort of tool that you have. It could be some cooking utensil you brought that you don't need anymore for cooking. An extra object, like, I don't know, let's say you brought an extra pen. You could even use a pen. Anything. I bet you could find a stick, but if you don't find a stick, use some sort of object to dig your hole. Even your hands. Yes, use your hands. And when you're digging your hole, you have, so this is my hand, right? Don't use my hand as a guideline. Use your own personal hand because every body is different. Every body size is different. So your wrist is here, right? Or this is my wrist and this is my hand. When you dig the hole, make sure that the bottom of your hole is to the point of which your hand wrist is. Like, the top needs to be where the surface of the hole is, and the bottom needs to be where your pointer or middle finger are, so that you have enough space to take the dump and not have a remainder surface that does not fall into the LNT guidelines. So that's something you need to know about. Let's see what else. Okay, yeah, so pebbly shore. It's easy to, you know, cover that up because it's just rocks, pebbles, loose gravel, mix, stuff like that. But let's say you're on a cliff and there's not a lot of dirt. It's mainly granite, solid granite or solid rock. In that case, you go downhill because you're most definitely in high elevation. So you go lower in elevation, whether it be like a 30-minute walk, whatever. Time your poops ahead of time so that you know when it's time to go, you have it all ready and prepped out. So go to a place where you can find soil or sandy gravel mix. That's considered soil. Any form of soil that you can dig a hole that's up from your wrist and down. Another factor to keep in mind, there is water, all right? there's water all around you, you're camping, and you're next to a huge river, and you need to poop. So, in this case, you walk at least, I guess I would say at least 200 feet away from water so that you don't contaminate the water with your poop, because when you poop and, you know, put the soil on top, that soil absorbs the poop, and water, if it's too close to shore, it'll contaminate the water. So go at least 200 feet away. If you Google how far away do you need to be from water to poop, a lot of sources will have different guidelines for different things depending on what kind of outdoor wilderness exploration you're doing. Let's say you're river guiding. River guiding has a completely different L&T rule list than when you're backpacking in the woods. So just to keep in mind, and before you go out into the field or before you go out into the backcountry, make sure you know the L&T guidelines for that specific type of terrain and activity that you're doing. Very important, highlight that. Okay, let's say you miss. Whoops, my poop just went in a completely different direction. How did that happen? I don't know. You tell me, just kidding, don't tell me. But basically, let's say the poop misses the hole. You grab your stake, your trowel, your shovel, your object that you dig the hole with, not your hands. Don't use your hands to move the poop. That would be disgusting. Get a stick. I think a stick is pretty practical. Get your stick and move the poop back into the hole. Once the poop is back into the hole, make sure all the poop's back into the hole. We don't want any L&T guidelines to be not followed. So make sure all the poop's back in the hole, and then once it's back in the hole, you get your stick and you swirl the poop around in the soil so it decomposes faster. Don't bring the stick back with you. Don't use it for multiple poops. Use it and then leave it in the hole with the poop so that that stick does not roam the earth with your feces on it. Okay, let's just make that clear. Do not take your stick with you. Find a new stick for every poop. A trowel or a shovel that you're bringing with you on your trip to dig the hole, don't use that to swirl your poop because that's disgusting. Get your stick that you're only going to use once for that poop, swirl it around, leave it in the hole, cover the hole, you're done. Basically, an L&T practice is when you step on top of your hole once you've covered it. Your shoe should not go through the hole. You should have at least enough soil and sticks and leaves and all these things on top so that when you step on it, you're not gonna squish your foot into some feces. Because imagine your friend has to take a shit too, and they're walking and they're trying to find a hole and they ironically go into the area that you took a poop in. Well, dang, they step in your hole. That's disgusting. So make sure to cover it up. And honestly, people, this is like the minimum. You can go way deeper. Let's say it rained or it snowed or you're near, or you're just in like a very moist soil area. You can go as deep as you want. You can do 2 feet, you could do 4 feet, you could do a foot. But yeah, just keep digging until you feel satisfied with the amount of shit that you're gonna put into the hole will be covered up enough. We're gonna go into sanitizing after and before. So make sure when you're digging your hole that there's no other poops around. You don't wanna dig up someone else's hole. Just common sense. Don't poop in a hole that's already been pooped in. First of all, that's disgusting. Second of all, why would you do that? Because it's gonna smell. And third of all, there's plenty of other space to take your shit. So don't do that. Hands, very easy to cause contamination. And honestly, our hands in the backcountry are one of the most common ways of how illnesses, viruses spread, diseases spread. So with that being in mind, bring bottle hand sanitizer or bring soap. I personally think hand sanitizer is much easier, but if you want to do a more thorough clean of your hands, use soap and water. Simple as that. And soap and water might not be the easiest because you're not near water. Depending on your situation, you can choose. Pooping in the backcountry can be hard. You know, we're also used to civilization and toilets. Down below, I will list the link to L&T practices from a credited source. It goes into L&T and different types of L&T in the backcountry and different parts of the wilderness that you need to know. If you go through this entire video, kudos to you, because by this point, you're already halfway there. The other half is doing it. On that note, if you have any questions, comment down below and I will answer them. And if you have any recommendations for any videos that you want me to do in the future, comment down below some ideas for me and I will try and get to that idea that you recommend as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.